Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Simon Eddles, the Sales Director here at Travel Bulletin, and it's a real pleasure to welcome you to our final, very sad face here, virtual training event of 2020. We are delighted to be joined by two amazing suppliers today. I'm going to introduce them now. So firstly, it's hello to Hannah Zychek, the Trade and Marketing Manager for the Austrian National Tourist Office. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, everyone.
Wonderful. Okay. And how are you today, Hannah? Are you well?
I'm well, yeah, I cannot complain.
Okay. Good. Well, that's good. We don't like complaining people anyway, so that's good. We also want to give a big welcome to a new partner for Travel Bulletin's virtual events program, and that's Naomi Moiser, the Partnerships and New Business Manager for Line Management. Hello, Naomi.
Hi, everyone.
Fantastic. Oh, welcome to our events program, Naomi. So let's hope you take part in many more. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. Looking forward to this. It's our first one, so yeah, really excited.
Absolutely. Well, okay, now I'm just going to explain to everyone, we've done a number of different styles of these over the last 6 months. So just to get everyone back into the swing with this particular style, the plan for today is that both our suppliers will each deliver a short training session, and we are then, one will be followed by another almost sort of straight away. If you have any questions that you want us to put to these wonderful people, then please use the Q&A facility. Firstly, if you can indicate which supplier it's for, so if it's for the Austrian Tourist Office or if it's for Lime or AVIATE, then just sort of tell us who it's for. And obviously I can see who you are, and then I can put those questions at the back end of this webinar during the 20-minute Q&A session. If you can sort of put them through whilst the presentations are going on, it helps me because I start to panic near the end if there's no questions coming through, and then I make up all sorts of stuff. So please don't let me panic, and get your questions in. We've also got some great prizes ourselves that we've got sort of to give away as well. We're giving away a £10 Amazon voucher instantly after each presentation, so make sure you're listening, because I've got a question for each one of you on each presentation. And at the end, Hannah and Naomi will also be giving away some fantastic prizes towards the end of the webinar. Hannah is offering an Austrian coffee break kit, which includes some cake and is provided by Kipferl. And Naomi is giving away a bottle of gin. It was going to be 2, but she started on the first one. I'm only joking. No, she's giving away a bottle of gin. Plus, the White Company, who you may have heard of, is the supplier for the British Airways Club World Cabins amenity kits, and you've got one of those to give away as well. So that's great. So without further ado, let's crack on and watch our first training session. Hannah's going to tell us all about what's new in Austria.
A warm hello and thank you from my side. You can find lots of information as well as regular updates about the current situation in Austria on our website austria.info. But I will be giving you a short overview over the most important facts and activities that you can do in Austria. Austria is situated in the heart of Europe, surrounded by 8 neighbors, and so it is easily combined for a European round trip. Our capital is Vienna, our language is German, and our population is just under 9 million. Austria is easily accessible from the UK with a flight time of around 2 hours. There are direct flights from London and regional airports to Vienna, Salzburg and Innsbruck, but Munich, Zurich or Bratislava might be good alternatives too, depending to which region you want to travel. Austria is not a very big country, but that has the advantage that it is very easy to get around. We have a well-developed train system in place, and our railjet allows a fast connection between the bigger cities. You can, for instance, travel from Vienna to Salzburg in under 3 hours, or from Vienna to Innsbruck in under 5. So I always like to suggest why not combine 2 cities. Austrian cities are, except for Vienna, not very big. So basically, you can do everything by foot. And even in Vienna, most sites are in the city center. So you can have a very relaxed city break without too much hassle. And Austria is full of history, art, culture, and tradition. But our cities are also surrounded by beautiful landscape. So you could also combine culture with nature and experience both a city and a nature break in one holiday. When it comes to our mentality, we Austrians follow quite a relaxed way of life and enjoy the good things. We call it the Austrian Gemütlichkeit. We also have a long-standing history of hospitality with the goal of making our guests feel right at home. Our capital, Vienna, has been voted most livable city by the Mercer study for the 10th time in a row. It blends imperial tradition with stunning modern architecture, and it is a wonderfully green city. The largest park, the Prater, is actually bigger than Central Park in New York. Culture lovers will be happy with the abundance of museums. The Museumsquartier in the city center is one of the largest cultural quarters in the world, with institutions of different art fields in an area of over 60,000 square feet. But Vienna is not only famous for its sites and culture events, but also for its coffeehouse culture. I always like to recommend having a cake and a coffee in one of the traditional coffee houses, because that's how we like to spend our Sundays as well. Vienna is also the only metropolis that has 700 hectares of vineyards in its outskirts. So why not visit a cozy wine tavern, especially in October when the young wine is being served with traditional food. Salzburg is the birthplace of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. It is the setting of Sound of Music and home of the world-famous Salzburg Festival of Classical Music. Salzburg is really fully infused with music and history. You can see splendid Baroque architecture that was designed by the greatest architects of their time, because Salzburg was actually home of the Prince Archbishops, who were so impressed with the opulence of Rome. Therefore, Salzburg got also nicknamed Rome of the North. Today, Salzburg is home of 11 breweries and has been brewing beer since 600 years. So if you're a beer aficionado, why not book a tour in one of them or enjoy a pint in one of the traditional beer gardens? Heading more to the west, we reach Innsbruck, our sporty town surrounded by mountains. Here you can combine a leisurely stroll through the colorful old town, visiting a local cafe, and do some shopping with a mountain experience. A cable car will take you from the city center over 2,000 meters high up the Nordkette in just 20 minutes. The Nordkette is actually part of Austria's largest nature park, so up there you can enjoy the fantastic views with Innsbruck on one side and the conservation area on the other. You can try the panorama route, or you can just have another coffee in one of the sun loungers. Last but not least, Graz, while being the second largest city of Austria, is our hidden gem. It is a wonderfully relaxed city with a southern ambience that we also call our foodie town. Being surrounded by lots of agriculture and vineyards, lots of fresh and regional produce is coming into the city, and you can taste your way through the city on one of the many farmers markets or the restaurants who transform them into traditional and creative dishes with international accents. Highlight is clearly the month-long food festival in summer, with the long table event where 700 guests can dine al fresco in the city center. Austria offers lots of different hotel experiences, from hotels with imperial charm like the Sacher in Vienna and Salzburg, to boutique hotels to wonderful spa breaks. We have compiled our favorite premier hotels in the Austria Hotel Collection that you can also find on our website. Austria is probably best known as a ski destination. It offers traditional charming ski resorts, family-owned hotels, and good value for money. The best times to travel are between December to April, which is when the main ski season is. There are more than 370 ski resorts, and no matter if you're looking for black and off-piste runs with your friends or a smaller family-friendly resort, there's something for everyone. There are also plenty of non-ski activities like snowshoe walking, winter hiking, sledging, or fantastic spa facilities. In summer, the best times to travel would be May to October, because that is when the cable cars are reopening again. So you can really have the full mountain experience without too strenuous hikes. You can expect beautiful landscapes from majestic mountains in the west to rolling hillsides in the east. We have 6 national parks, 48 nature parks, almost 50% of the landmass is covered in forests, and we have 4,000 kilometers of well-signed hiking routes. From leisurely walks to alpine climbing, there's something for every level. We also have 27,000 kilometers of cycling routes. Try out mountain biking or downhilling in one of our bike regions that offer great infrastructure also for first-timers. Or try some leisure cycling and try the popular path along the Danube where you pass lovely small towns, vineyards and apricot trees. We also have over 360 bathing lakes that have been voted in the top 3 in Europe when it comes to water quality. The combination of crystal blue lakes with the mountains in the backdrop is a sight that you won't forget that easily. And of course, there's much more to do. You could go kayaking, rafting, do stand-up paddling or yoga in the mountain. Austria really offers it all in its one big nature playground. Thank you so much for your time listening to me and learning about Austria. You can find lots of information on our website austria.info. You can contact me with any questions anytime. You can also try out our Austrian Cities course on OTT, and feel free to follow us on Facebook, YouTube and Instagram for lots more inspiration. And now I just want to leave you with a few more impressions and a message from Austria. Thank you.
When you love something, you take care of it. Just as we care for our culture, our art, for our nature, and the places we call home. We care about our food and where it comes from. We care for the people we live with and for those who come to visit. This is the way it's always been. And it's the way it always will be. When you love something, you take care of it. So let's remain confident about the days ahead. We look forward to seeing you again in Austria.
Right, if we can unshare that, then I can have back to me if I can. I hope you're all listening carefully, as you now have the opportunity to win our first spot prize, which is a £10 Amazon voucher. We're going to use the chat function for this, everyone. So please use the chat function, not the Q&A, the chat function for this. To answer this question. Okay, here we go. If you're all listening, please. The question is, according to the Mercer survey, Vienna has been voted most livable city in Europe. How many times in a row has Vienna won this vote? How many times in a row has Vienna won this vote? So we're getting lots of answers in. Here we go. Now my colleague is going to be deciding who wins this one out of all the correct answers. I can see there are a few people who've correctly answered, and I think we've got about 50 answers in, and we have a winner. We have a winner, and my colleague has picked the winner, and the winner is Christine Harvey. Well done, Christine. A £10 Amazon voucher will be winging its way to you after the webinar. So well done, Christine. Fantastic. That was really good. Okay, so thank you very much to Hannah as well for the presentation. It's now time to move on to our second presentation, brought to you by Naomi from Line Management. Thank you, Naomi.
The Travel Innovation Group represents 3 distinct companies, each with their own specialities, combined to offer a breadth of travel products and technology solutions. Line was appointed by British Airways in 2003 as their main trade distribution partner. Line retains a unique relationship with the airline as true specialists and the go-to for the UK trade. Launched in 2009, AVIATE is now the leading leisure fares flights consolidator with over 60 airlines and a well-established group service. CalROM is our award-winning software development division. Launched in 2007, CalROM supports and develops all of our systems. As I stay on this page, you can also see that AVIATE launched the Virgin Atlantic Flight Store, providing best fares in market in 2015. So I'd like to run through some of the benefits you would enjoy by having an account with us. I'll touch on a few of the key areas. You can hold without deposit, giving you greater flexibility should you need to make any pre-ticket changes. Extended ticketing deadlines. British Airways have released a new policy to extend the ticketing deadlines to 14 days before departure, pending terms and conditions of your booking, in a bid to support the trade during this difficult time. Ticket protection scheme. So should circumstances result in an airline becoming insolvent, our ticket protection scheme guarantees to refund the fares and the tax in the quickest possible timeframe, secure alternative flight arrangements, or repatriate customers with alternative flights if left overseas. Our intuitive booking and ticketing system allows you to self-serve and provides the freedom of automation. NDC enabled means that you're getting the best fares in the market. We have this technology already live on our Line website, so you can rest assured you are getting the best fares, including British Airways' new additional price point fares, which are only loaded into NDC enabled systems. You can also choose to integrate with our API via your mid or back office system. This can either be a direct connect or via a relationship we have with another software specialist. Examples are Dolphin or Paxport. Just to reiterate, our high protection model means booking flights with us gives you the added peace of mind. Thanks to our no deposit proposition, your customers are free to hold a guaranteed fare without incurring a cost, and you have the ability to amend and cancel flights, pre-ticketing without any fees. Some additional benefits: by having an account with us online, you get access to the British Airways Asset Library, you'll get access to that British Airways appointed logo, plus many more. With AVIATE, you will also have access to over 150 airlines in a published capacity and over 60 international airlines via our NDC compatible systems. As more and more airlines move to NDC, our systems are ready and waiting for that transition. We can also redistribute fares into all 4 GDSs, and via the Virgin Atlantic Flight Store, we have the cheapest ITX fares, underpinned by a fare guarantee. Our dedicated groups teams across both Lime and AVIATE understand the complexities of larger passenger numbers. Our group booking and ticketing services is a flexible and efficient solution. We have lengthy non-commitment periods which allow you to hold seats whilst you market a departure. You can assign a seat block from 7 days before departure, and you have access to our market-leading groups booking system on the Line website. On AVIATE groups, similar to Line, you can usually hold an option for a period of time to allow you to confirm other travel arrangements. This varies by airline, but can range from 10 days to 8 weeks. You can hold without deposit, giving you a greater flexibility should you need to make any pre-ticket changes. And our specialist teams across Lyme and AVIATE have a wealth of knowledge and are here to support you. If you would like to know any more about us, you can visit our websites at lymemanagement.com or aviateworld.com. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much for that, Naomi. We now know a lot more about Lyme management and AVIATE. I'm going to give away another spot prize now. It's a £10 Amazon voucher again. So I hope you're all listening very carefully. I am going to need some more questions for Naomi in a minute. So think about what your clients are going to want to know about what helps you with your business with regards to selling those fairs, and how you might be able to be involved and what questions you have about it. Because we've got both Naomi and we've got Natalie on call to answer questions from the company as well. So you can be as picky and pokey as you like. I'm sure they'll be able to find an answer for you. In the meantime, though, it's question time and it's £10 voucher time. So are you all ready? The last one, by the way, before we get to this one, I'm going to keep you in suspense again for a little bit longer now. The answer to the last one was 10. I think Ash sent a sort of a chat message around, but the answer was 10. 10 times Austria was voted, or has been voted, most livable city in a row at that particular survey, the Mercer survey. So anyway, so unfortunately, lots of you had lots of different answers, but a few of you got it right, which is great. Okay, so back to the Naomi's wonderful presentation and the £10 voucher we're going to give away to you instantly now. So get ready on the chat function, and the question is, in which year was Lyme launched? In which year was Lyme launched? And we've got lots of questions with lots of answers coming in, and it looks like there's a bit more consistency to this one, which is just good to see. So lots of you listening, which is fantastic. My colleague Jeanette is trawling through the sort of 40 odd people who've already taken part and put their answers in to get me a winner. And the winner is, oh my goodness, my phone's gone and given out now at this point. Come on, the winner is Tim Thornton. The winner is Tim Thornton. Tim, the Chocolate Man Thornton, is the winner of the £10 Amazon voucher. Well done, Tim. That's fantastic. The answer, by the way, was 2003. I was going to give you a clue. It was the year that England won the Rugby World Cup. But anyway, no need for clues, as Tim Thornton, amongst many, many others, got the question right. Okay, so it's now time for our Q&A session. So if everyone can come back and join me, that would be great. Don't forget to unmute yourselves. So let's say hello again to Hannah and to Naomi.
Hi.
Fantastic. Okay. I've got plenty of questions coming in, but we're going to go sort of tit for tat around if I can do. I'm going to start with a few I've got for a couple in a row. I've got for you, Hannah, if I can do. So Steve Gosling asks, this is a particularly fun one, this one. What's the phrase that you use that describes relaxed, the relaxed way of life?
Yeah, so in Austria we say Gemütlichkeit. So it's kind of a word we cannot translate into English. It's similar to the Danish hygge, I believe.
Right, okay, that's as clear as anything, I'm sure. Like Gemütlichkeit, is that right? Something like
Exactly.
that? Okay. Okay, that was a bit of a fun one to start with. Okay, can I ask, Angela Tad asks, what is the current situation for the ski season?
Currently hotels and all, well, basically the whole hospitality sector is still closed in Austria until the 7th of January. And of course, the situation is going to be reviewed and to see how we're going to be able to progress from then onwards. Actually, the ski resorts, the cable cars can open from the 24th or the 25th this year, but as hotels and restaurants are going to be closed, it's going to be difficult for any tourists to really enter into Austria. As well, there are going to be entry restrictions from the 19th December onwards. We think that probably the situation is going to be revised before Christmas or after Christmas, and we hope, of course, for a late skiing season.
Okay, so they're basically reviewing it regularly.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you for that. That helps. In terms of Naomi, can I ask you, what is the sort of William Thompson asks, is Lime part of British Airways?
No, we're a privately owned company, but we have a very unique relationship with them. The way that we can distribute certain fares is quite unique to our business. And we do handle a number of revenue streams for them. So very close ties, but not part of the actual airline.
Okay, and Jean Young asks, are the tickets automatically ticketed as confirmed bookings or held as options, and we need to call to confirm and then ticket them?
Okay, so you can hold without commitment on our website, and you would need to initiate ticketing before the deadline. So our website's designed to self-serve, so it's available to you 24/7. So you will make a booking on our reservation system. We would send you an email reminder of the ticketing deadline, and then you would just log on to issue the ticket. However, we are developing technology to automate ticketing. So you would potentially set logic to when you want that ticketing issued, and we would do that automatically for you. And that's coming in the future. But at the moment, you would need to log on and issue your ticket.
Okay. We'll ask you another couple of questions in a minute, Naomi, and maybe something you can give us in terms of a timeline or an update in terms of when those new technologies might be available. But first of all, back to you, Hannah, if I may. Mags Addison, you've answered her question online with regards to can you travel from Vienna to Graz by train, which I know you gave an answer to already. But there's also Catherine Husband asks, the best place in your view, and it'll have to be a personal opinion rather than one that you can say categorically, perhaps as an unbiased sort of employee of the state, you may not be able to give a sort of a particular answer, but what's your sort of best sort of tip for somewhere to eat coffee and cake in Vienna?
That's, of course, a very difficult one because there's so many places in Vienna. I would recommend to go to one typical place like the Café Sacher because it's just magnificent. It's just a beautiful hall. Or, for instance, another one is the Café Havelka, which just has a long history, like with all the intellectuals as well, meeting there, sitting, discussing current topics, etc. And then I would also just stroll about Vienna and choose maybe a smaller independent one that you just like. I'm happy to send as well, Kathleen, the list that Vienna Tourism recommends as well, because I think it might be difficult with the names now. On
a side note, what would you expect to pay for coffee and cake?
So I would say without a 100% guarantee, because it depends, of course, in which place you go. It varies, of course, from place to place as well. But for a cake, I would expect like between €4 and €5, and then coffee. It also depends because we have a lot of different coffee varieties, like with cream, without cream, with a whipped cream, with alcohol in it, from a short version to a large version. So it depends, and I would say as well between maybe to €4 or €5 if you have like an extravagant version.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Back to you, Naomi. I've got Karen Louise asks, do Lime and AVIATE work with independent groups?
Yes, so we can deal with ATOL bonded operators, or we can deal with consumers in different parts of the business as well. So through an ATOL agent, we can deal with them, and we can also work with non-ATOL agents as well. So it just depends what type of business it is, but whether ATOL or non-ATOL, we can provide you with a group's proposition.
Okay, I've got someone who wants to remain anonymous, who's asked, is there a sort of, how am I going to phrase this? Some people are very keen to take their customers' names and details and what have you. are you sort of keen on the longer term relationship with the agent, or is there sort of some people the airlines are particularly can be very grabby in terms of information? That's all.
We're trade only, so we can deal on the core business, it's atoll to atoll, and then, as I say, on the group side we can deal with non-atoll agents, but predominantly we only deal with the trade. Okay,
fantastic. That's a big message for obviously all of our people watching today, that the trade side of things is what they're all about. So thank you for that. Right, okay, back to you, Hannah. Can I ask, what is the best period? This is Hazel McNeil asks, what is the best period to see the Lipizzaner horses at the Spanish riding school?
Well, there are, of course, not currently at the moment,
sure.
But during a normal time, you can see them almost every day in the week. So you can visit the training session, which is already quite impressive, I think. Or you could go for one of the shows, which is also hosted during the week, towards the weekend.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to pop back to you if I can, please, Naomi. I've got Wendy Minnair. Now, I think I know the answer to this because I may be wrong, but I think it's 0, but I may be wrong. Wendy asks, what is the low deposit for the USA?
It would depend on airline, but as an example, on British Airways, I'm assuming groups as a deposit. I'll go through both just in case.
Okay.
So as an example of British Airways, you can hold without commitment, and then in 4 weeks you have to commit 20% of the fare. On flights, there's no deposit at all. So on less than 10 passengers, we class that as individual travel. So you can hold without commitment. We do not take a deposit off you, and that's part of our unique proposition. We understand that in this current climate, the need for the consumer to make changes depending on what's happening in resort is very crucial. So as part of our low risk model, you can hold a flight with us and make as many pre-ticket changes as you want. The only money that we exchange hands is at time of ticketing. So being able to have that flexibility pre-ticketing is what makes our proposition quite desirable.
Okay, fantastic. That's very clear. I think that the key things to get across here are, A, you're trade friendly, and very much in the sphere of understanding what the trade wants and needs, especially now when everyone's been in a difficult period anyway, and that it's that relationship that you're after.
100%, yeah. We're trying to make as many changes as possible with our agents in mind, and the fact that we don't offer a deposit just does give them that freedom.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Okay, Hannah, could I ask, I've got something here from Jennifer Ford asks, are the ski resorts open? I know you've gone through that already and said that things aren't opening up until early January. Is there anything you can give us an update in terms of, are you looking to start proposing 2021 beyond a certain time, if you see what I mean?
Well, that's very difficult, I think, because we don't know what's going to happen 2021. As I said, we of course do hope that there's a late ski season possible. There's still great snow in February, March onwards to April even. So we do hope that numbers are going to go down and it's going to be possible then. Of course, we're looking ahead already for summer. I think if travel is possible, Austria is a great destination. There's plenty of nature where you can just go for a hike. So I think activities like this in that great outdoors is actually the perfect activity after the year we've just been through. And yeah, we'll see how the situation is going to develop. And then
I think you're absolutely right. I think that people have to look, if they can get skiing in, then that's a bonus. But to look at the summer as being a fantastic proposition to get out there in the open air, where with regards to COVID, you're less likely to catch anything anyway. So let's be sort of fresh air out there and enjoying the summer regardless. And hopefully we can get a bit of skiing in before it happens as well. Okay, and secondary to that, what are the best times in your view to experience both of those things? Obviously, we know the ski season sort of is happening between now and April, but beyond that, for the summer, what would be the best time to travel, would you say?
Well, I personally always like to recommend, if you're kind of into hiking, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be an expert in climbing, for instance. You can go for really easy hikes as well. You can take the cable car up. I think June is a great month because that's when the alpine roses are blooming as well. So it's just a beautiful setting. It's also, there's less people yet than in summer. It might be a bit fresher in the mountain, but if you're prepared for that, I think it's a great time. Also, you could look into autumn. We have beautiful Indian summers, actually. It's perfect for some hikes or walks in nature, and you kind of can skip the high season there as well.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, back to you, Naomi, if I can. With regards to the, this is me asking, I think, really. I've got one person who's asking, but I'm not going to name them because I think everyone else probably understands it. So I'm just being nosy now. You mentioned NDCs a lot, well, a few times in your presentation. Is that something that you said everyone's going in that direction in terms of their...
Yes, so NDC is an IATA product, and it's a distribution channel for the airlines. So Lime was the first leisure partner of British Airways to hit the milestones for NDC technology. So it means that on British Airways, we have the best fares. They're loading certain fares into NDC-enabled platforms. So via our website, our clients can rest assured that they're getting the best British Airways fares. Through NDC, we have something called additional price points, and it's an additional fare ladder on British Airways fares. And again, that's only available through NDC-enabled systems. Our investment in technology means that clients who book with us will never be at a disadvantage because we're committing to developing that technology in line with the airlines.
Okay, and again, I'm being nosy now because I know I deal with, or have dealt with over the years, a number of different sort of companies that look after the airlines, whatever you want to call them, and the fare proposition is sometimes put to the agent as a net fare, and then they decide where they then mark that accordingly. Is that similar to what you do? How does that sort of, is it up to the agent as to what they then market?
So our fare structure is very transparent, very clear. The net that we get from the airline, we present that to the client on the booking journey. So it's the true net. So you'll very clearly see the net fare, the tax, and our service fee. And it's very transparent throughout the whole booking process. The client will then choose whatever markup they want as they dynamically package. If it's an inclusive tour fare, they need to be presented to the client as a complete package. And we also have seat-only and published fares. But for the inclusive tour fare, which is a leisure product, the operator, once they get our true net, can add on whatever commission they see fit, and they can dynamically package and present that to the client.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, well, that makes it very clear because it's about the transparency of these things is where sometimes I think I can speak on behalf of some of the agents anyway by saying that they find it difficult to compare products because they're not always very transparent. But okay, that's helpful. Okay, I know that one other thing in terms of your high protection model, I've got a question here that asks, can you explain how that compares to sort of everyone else? Is that something that most people, now that COVID's hit, have put in place?
There's multiple objectives that we set out through and before COVID. So our proposition was always highly desirable in the way that we traded. The no deposit proposition allowed operators that degree of flexibility. Our automated website allows clients to self-serve pre-ticket, so they can make as many pre-ticket changes through our automated system. We had to change things and adapt even further once COVID hit. So we launched our ticket protection scheme. We set out our structure with regards to being very transparent with our operators, such as refund policies. So as and when the airlines were refunding, we committed to our clients a very clear table of how we were able to get them their money back. We set out our crisis management plan, which very clearly shows our commitment to our suppliers and our partners. So we very much took it up a level. Our model was also, as I say, a high protection model, but with the added ticket protection scheme and allowing the operator to self-serve via our website. We very quickly adapted our website to allow automation. So operators were able to go on and utilize the travel vouchers that the airlines were providing on COVID affected bookings. They could go on and work that travel voucher automatically through the website. So we were given the tools to the operator to be able to self-serve in a 24/7 environment.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, well that makes it nice and clear. Hannah, I'm going to give you one more question each. So Hannah, with you, this is going to be a bit of a personal one, I think, a little bit. I'm going to ask you to try and leave the wonderful agents here with a with your personal recommendation if they were to go to one place or one museum or one thing that you would want them to remember to visit when they next visit Austria. What would it be?
You put me in a difficult position as I'm representing the whole of Austria.
Hannah, that's my job.
Okay, and I'm gonna just slide around this question.
Oh, you're gonna give me about 4, aren't you? No,
I'm not gonna give you 4. I'm just saying there's I think what's fantastic is in Austria, and I already mentioned in this presentation, is that the cities are quite small, they're quite walkable. Actually, everything is doable by foot, and there's really beautiful landscapes around it. So my tip is to really combine a city with a nature trip. Like do 2-3 days, get some culture in, and then go and see the outdoors and do 2-3 days, then walking or maybe a spa weekend. So you have really this combination really close by in Austria, and I think that's special.
Okay, well that's really good. Thank you very much. I've had one in which is quite interesting for you, Naomi, and then I'm going to ask you my question. So this one is from Jacqueline Brady, and she asks, if the net fare goes down, do you sort of reprice before issuing? This is for a net fare.
No, we don't. The reason being is that there's multiple components tied to that fare, whether the operator selected baggage, whether they've selected that particular fare because they want a refundable ticket. So it's almost up to the operator, should they want to make changes to that fare. We don't make any changes, even if we can see a fare that's slightly cheaper, because we wouldn't want to risk or sacrifice a rule set or a reason that they've chose that fare for. So if there is a cheaper fare, we do not have a process in place to take that lower fare on behalf of the operator.
I suppose in a way, if the person sees a lower fare, they can go and sectionalize that fare and take it. And if they then add on their other items and find that they're better off, they can keep that fare, can't they? So it's up to them.
Yeah, it's at the operator's discretion, but it's not something that we would do on their behalf.
No. Okay. Well, this is my question then. So this is the one we want to sort of leave you with. Obviously, you're a first-time sort of presenter here on our webinars, and I want to give you the opportunity to give the agents one thing that you would want them to remember from today's presentation. So, what's your key USP that you'd like to get across?
So, despite pre-COVID being a £200 million turnover business, we do not strive to be a call centre. We have UK-based teams. The way we work with our clients is very consultative. We partner with them. We have experienced team members here. We have lead-in fairs with all the airlines and very unique ways of working. So please do get in touch. I'd love to explain in more detail our proposition. We've evolved very efficiently throughout the COVID crisis. Our proposition is even better. So I would really like to share that with anyone who's interested.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you both very much. I'm now going to ask you, we've got through all of our questions, and to be honest, we've used up a bit more time than we should have done, but I'm sure I won't get told off. So this is good. Can I ask you, if you can then run through, we're going to have our competition time now. So we have 2 partner prizes up for grabs. So agents, please get your pens ready and do write down the web address that I give you, because I do occasionally get calls from people after the event saying they've forgotten what the web address is. So if you can do, so write down the webinar address, the web address for the competition, which is travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. So travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. The closing date for the questions, for the answers even, is 4 p.m. on Wednesday the 16th, and all of our lucky winners will be notified on the 17th as we go into tier 3. Anyway, our suppliers are now going to tell you what their prizes and questions are. Let's start with you, Hannah. Please tell us what your prize is and then what the question is.
Yes. So my prize is an Austrian coffee break kit, including actually an Austrian cake. So I hope that gives you kind of like already a first taste for the Austrian coffee house culture, and it's so really easy. You can just taste it at home. And my question is, what is the name of Austria's second largest city?
Okay, so fantastic. That was just a recap on that. What is the name of Austria's second largest city? And as I say, it's to win an Austrian coffee break kit, including some Austrian cake, which is wonderful. Okay, now, Naomi, it's you now. So please tell us what your prize is and also then what your question is.
Yes, so the prize is a bottle of gin and a British Airways Club World amenity kit by The White Company. And the question is, Lime and Aviate offer customers a financial guarantee should an airline become insolvent. What is this guarantee called?
Okay, so Lime and Aviate offer a financial guarantee should an airline fail. What is that guarantee called? And that's to win a bottle of gin and an amenity kit on BA's Club World cabin that's provided by the White Company. So we're coming to the end of this Travel Bulletin webcast. I'm just going to update myself and just check that everything, everything's now good in terms of the competition is up on our website. So I'm going to give you one more go at it. So please, if you want to go onto that, it's travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. And that should get you there. So if you have missed something and you want to recap on today's information, everything will be viewable tomorrow, not only on our website, but also on our YouTube and Facebook pages as well. Thank you again to our suppliers. Please, could I have a little wave from you to the agents to say goodbye? And just because I've got my reindeer on, I'm wishing you all a Merry Christmas as well. And if I don't see you beforehand, then a Happy New Year as well. Thank you all very much for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Cheers. Goodbye.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Bye.